The email arrived at 11:43 p.m. on a Thursday. I was sitting at my kitchen table in my Chicago apartment, laptop open, coffee going cold beside me. Subject line: Your performance review requires immediate discussion. I clicked it open. My boss, Richard Barrett, didn't believe in waiting until business hours. The message was 3 paragraphs of corporate speak that boiled down to one thing: I was being put on a performance improvement plan. Your dedication is noted, but working late hours suggests poor time management. Successful employees complete tasks during standard business hours. Your inability to do so raises concerns about your capability. I read it twice, 3 times. The words blurred together. I'd been working at DataCore Solutions for 18 months. Business analyst. Entry level. $52,000 a year in one of the most expensive cities in America. I worked nights because I was building something else. Something Richard knew nothing about. My hands shook as I closed the laptop. Tomorrow's meeting would be humiliating. Richard loved an audience. He'd probably gather the whole team to watch him tear me down. Standard procedure for him. I looked at my second laptop. The one with my real work. My side project. My escape plan. Not yet, I told myself. But soon. Growing up in Detroit, I learned early that nobody gives you anything. My mom worked 3 jobs after Dad left. She'd come home at midnight, exhausted, and still help me with homework. Education is your way out, she'd say. Don't waste it. I got a full ride to Northwestern. Computer science and business. Graduated with honors. Thought the world would open up. Instead, I got DataCore, a mid-sized consulting firm that sold enterprise software solutions to hospitals and clinics. Richard Barrett was 42, balding, and drunk on the tiny bit of power managing our 8-person team gave him. He'd never built anything himself, just climbed by taking credit for other people's work and stepping on anyone who threatened him. My first week, I watched him humiliate Jenny, another analyst, in a team meeting. She'd made a minor error in a report. He spent 20 minutes dissecting it, making jokes. The team laughed because not laughing meant you were next. I kept my head down, did my work, stayed invisible. But Richard noticed everything, especially that I was good at my job. Better than him, probably. That made me dangerous. 6 months in, I started the night work. Not for DataCore. For myself. The performance review meeting was at 9 a.m. sharp. Richard's office. Glass walls, so everyone could watch. I walked in carrying a notebook, trying to look calm. Richard sat behind his desk, fingers steepled like he was about to deliver a sermon. Kayla, sit down. I sat. I'm concerned, he began. Your work is adequate, but I've noticed you're constantly exhausted. Showing up with coffee stains on your shirt. Dark circles under your eyes. It's unprofessional. I complete all my assignments on time, I said carefully. That's not the point. The point is efficiency. If you need to work until midnight to finish what others complete by 5 p.m., that's a problem. He leaned forward. What are you doing with all that time, Kayla? My stomach tightened. Working on our projects. Just our projects? I met his eyes. Yes. He didn't believe me. I could see it in his smirk. Well, regardless, this behavior needs to change. You have 60 days to improve your time management. If you can't, we'll need to discuss whether this role is right for you. Threat delivered. He dismissed me with a wave. I walked out, feeling eyes on me from every cubicle. Jenny looked sympathetic. Mark, Richard's favorite, smirked. I went to the bathroom and locked myself in a stall. Breathed slowly. 60 days. I could survive 60 days. That night, I opened my second laptop at 10 p.m. This one held my real work. HealthStream Analytics, a software platform I'd been building for 14 months. Custom data analytics specifically for small medical practices. DataCore sold enterprise solutions to big hospitals. Expensive. Complicated. Small clinics got nothing because they couldn't afford the big systems. I saw the gap. Built something to fill it. The platform was simple. Affordable. Cloud-based. It tracked patient data, appointment scheduling, billing, and outcomes. Everything a small practice needed. $200 a month. No huge upfront costs. No year-long implementation. I taught myself advanced coding through YouTube and online courses. Used free tools. Worked 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. most nights. Then got up at 7 a.m. for DataCore. I was exhausted constantly. But HealthStream was growing. I had 12 practices using it. Paying customers. Small offices in Ohio, Michigan, Indiana. They'd found me through targeted ads I ran on a shoestring budget. Word of mouth was spreading. Revenue, $2,400 a month. Expenses, $800 for servers and software. Profit, $1,600. Not enough to quit DataCore yet, but it was building. And Richard had no idea. My phone buzzed. Text from my best friend, Maya. How'd it go? Performance improvement plan. 60 days. That's garbage. You work harder than anyone there. Doesn't matter. Richard wants me gone. Then leave. You have HealthStream. Not ready yet. Need more runway. But sitting there, staring at my platform's dashboard, I made a decision. 60 days. I'd use every one of them. The next morning, I walked into DataCore with a plan. I'd give Richard exactly what he wanted. Visible presence. 9 to 5 perfection. Projects completed during business hours. No late nights at the office. What he wouldn't see was the reality. I'd automate everything. Build scripts to handle repetitive tasks. Streamline my workflow until I could complete 8 hours of work in 4. Use the extra time to look busy while actually working on HealthStream on my personal laptop. By 10 a.m., I'd built 3 automation scripts for our reporting system. Work that normally took me 2 hours now took 15 minutes. I tested them carefully. They worked perfectly. Richard walked by my desk at 11 a.m. Working hard, Kayla? Always, I said, typing away on a completely empty document. He nodded, satisfied. Moved on. I switched to my personal laptop hidden under a spreadsheet. Worked on HealthStream's new feature. A telehealth integration that practices were requesting. At exactly 5 p.m., I shut down my computer. Gathered my things. Richard was still in his office. I made sure he saw me leaving on time. Perfect employee. Reformed workaholic. At home by 6 p.m. Dinner by 7 p.m. Back to coding by 8 p.m. This time with energy, because I wasn't wasting it on DataCore anymore. Week 2 of the improvement plan, I landed a big client for HealthStream. A family practice in Wisconsin with 3 doctors. They'd been using paper records and Excel spreadsheets. My platform transformed their operation in 48 hours. Dr. Sarah Mitchell called me personally. Kayla, this is incredible. We've cut administrative time by 60%. Do you work with bigger practices? How big? We're part of a network. 15 practices across 3 states. They all have the same problems we had. My heart stopped. I can scale to that. Send me a proposal. If it's good, I'll introduce you to the network administrator. I worked until 4 a.m. building that proposal. Pricing structure. Implementation timeline. Support system. Everything professional. Polished. Undeniable. At DataCore the next day, I was a model employee. Smiled. Attended meetings. Contributed ideas that made Richard look good. He was warming to me. Thinking his performance plan was working. Jenny cornered me at lunch. You're different lately. Happier? Just following Richard's advice. Better time management. She looked skeptical. Okay. But if you're planning something, and I'm not saying you are, I want in. I smiled. Said nothing. But filed that away. When the time came, I'd need good people. Jenny was good people. The Wisconsin network wanted to move forward. 15 practices. $200 each. $3,000 a month in new recurring revenue. My hands shook signing the contract. Implementation would take 6 weeks. I'd need to customize features, provide training, offer support, all while maintaining my perfect DataCore facade. I hired my first employee, Ramon, a developer I'd met in an online coding forum. Remote work. $30 an hour. He'd handle the technical implementation while I managed client relationships. Maya helped with marketing. She had a background in social media. Started building HealthStream's online presence, professional website, LinkedIn content, case studies showing real results. Month 3 of the performance plan, Richard called me into his office. Kayla, I'm impressed. You've really turned things around. Thank you. I took your feedback seriously. I can see that. In fact, I'm recommending you for a new project. Big opportunity. He slid a folder across the desk. We're pitching to Midwest Care Health, a network of small practices across 5 states, worth $500,000 annually to DataCore. I opened the folder, felt my blood run cold. Midwest Care Health. That was Dr. Mitchell's network, the one currently using my platform. Richard kept talking. They're using some dinky startup solution right now. HealthStream something. We'll transition them to our enterprise system. Much more robust. I kept my face neutral. When's the pitch? 2 weeks. I want you on the team. You understand small practices. That'll help. Of course. Happy to help. Inside, I was screaming. DataCore wanted to steal my client. Replace my $3,000 a month contract with their $500,000 monstrosity. They'd overcharge, overcomplicate, ruin what I'd built. That night, I called Dr. Mitchell. I need to tell you something. I work for DataCore Solutions. They're about to pitch you. Silence. Then, you work for them? Day job. HealthStream is mine. My platform. But there's a conflict of interest here. I wanted you to know before their pitch. Do they know you built HealthStream? No. And they can't. Not yet. Kayla, their solution costs how much? Probably $40,000 upfront, then $10,000 monthly. She laughed. Hard. We're paying you $3,000 monthly and getting better results. Why would we switch? Corporate pressure. They'll whine and dine your administrators. Make promises. Let them try. We're not idiots. She paused. But Kayla, you need to quit that job. You're building something real. Don't let them steal it. She was right. But I needed more time. More revenue. More stability. Soon. I promised. The DataCore pitch team met daily. Richard led it. Me, Mark, and 2 senior consultants. We built presentations. Researched Midwest Care's needs. Developed the proposal. I fed them just enough information to look helpful. But I also sabotaged subtly. Pushed them toward features Midwest Care didn't need. Made the solution more expensive and complicated than necessary. Mark noticed. Kayla, you're making this really complex. Shouldn't we keep it simple? Small practices need robust solutions, I said, echoing Richard's usual nonsense. We can't undersell our capabilities. Richard loved it. Exactly. We're DataCore. We provide excellence. The proposal ballooned to $65,000 upfront, $12,000 monthly, 18-month implementation. It was a disaster. Perfect. Meanwhile, HealthStream grew. 23 practices now. $4,600 monthly revenue. Ramon and I had streamlined everything. Maya's marketing was bringing in 3 inquiries a week. I hired a second developer. Lisa, fresh out of college. Brilliant. She built a mobile app version in 2 weeks. Practices loved it. Doctors could check schedules from anywhere. My expenses were up. $3,200 monthly. But profit was $1,400. Growing weekly. I was 6 months from being able to quit DataCore. Maybe less if growth continued. Jenny caught me smiling at my desk. You're definitely up to something. Maybe. When you're ready, I want to know what it is. The Midwest Care pitch was scheduled for Friday. Big conference room at their headquarters in Milwaukee. Richard insisted we drive there together. Team bonding. 3 hours in a car with Richard. My personal nightmare. He spent the drive talking about his strategy. How he'd close the deal. How this would get him promoted to senior director. How we'd all benefit from his success. This is what separates winners from workers, Kayla, he said. Vision. The ability to see opportunities and seize them. I nodded. Let him talk. Wondered what his face would look like when he lost. We arrived at Midwest Care's office. Modern building. Professional lobby. The network administrator, Janet Torres, met us. She was 50, sharp-eyed, no nonsense. Welcome. We're excited to see your proposal. Her eyes lingered on me. A flicker of recognition. Dr. Mitchell had told her. The presentation room held 8 people. Doctors. Practice managers. Janet. They listened politely as Richard launched into his pitch. Enterprise solutions. Robust capabilities. Industry-leading technology. I watched their faces. Polite interest. Nothing more. They weren't buying it. Richard clicked to the pricing slide. I saw Janet's eyebrows rise. Saw Dr. Mitchell cough to cover a laugh. Questions? Richard asked confidently. Dr. Mitchell raised her hand. How does this compare to what we're currently using? Richard smiled. I'm glad you asked. Your current system, HealthStream, is a basic startup solution. Limited functionality. No enterprise support. You've outgrown it. Have we? Dr. Mitchell looked at Janet. I wasn't aware we had any issues. All small platforms have limitations, Richard said smoothly. You just haven't hit them yet. DataCore prevents those problems before they occur. By charging 10 times more? Richard's smile tightened. You get what you pay for. Enterprise quality requires enterprise investment. Janet leaned forward. Mr. Barrett, HealthStream has reduced our administrative costs by 58%. Our doctors love the interface. Patient satisfaction is up. Why would we replace something that works? Because Richard was floundering. This wasn't going how he planned. Mark jumped in. Long-term scalability. When you grow to 50 practices, HealthStream won't handle it. Will yours? Dr. Mitchell asked. Absolutely. At what cost? Mark hesitated. The pricing scales with usage, but... So, it gets more expensive as we grow. HealthStream stays the same price per practice. Seems like better math. I bit my lip to keep from smiling. Richard's face was red. The pitch was dying. Janet stood. Thank you for your time. We'll be in touch. The meeting was over. 15 minutes. The fastest rejection I'd ever seen. The drive back to Chicago was silent. Richard gripped the steering wheel so hard his knuckles were white. Mark stared out the window. I pretended to sleep. Finally, Richard spoke. That was a disaster. They seemed happy with their current solution. I offered. Their current solution is garbage. Some amateur built it. Probably in their basement. He slammed his hand on the steering wheel. We should have done more research. Found weaknesses. Destroy their confidence in it. Maybe HealthStream is actually good, I said quietly. It's a startup. Startups fail. We should have emphasized that. Made them afraid. I said nothing. Let him rage. This was beautiful. Back at the office, Richard called an emergency meeting. We lost the Midwest Care deal. This is unacceptable. I need everyone researching HealthStream. Find out who built it, what their weaknesses are. We're going to destroy them and take every one of their clients. My blood ran cold. This was escalating faster than I expected. Mark volunteered to lead the research. I'll have a full report by Monday. That night, I worked frantically. Locked down every public detail about HealthStream's ownership. Made sure my name appeared nowhere. Ramon and Lisa were listed as co-founders publicly. I was hidden, but I couldn't hide forever. Monday morning, Mark presented his findings. HealthStream Analytics. Founded 20 months ago. 2 listed co-founders, Ramon Martinez and Lisa Chen. No office address. Fully remote. 26 active clients. Growing fast. Richard listened intently. Revenue. Estimated $5,000 to $7,000 monthly. They're small but scrappy. Who's funding them? Appears to be bootstrapped. No venture capital. No investors. Richard smiled. Predatory. So they're vulnerable. No resources to fight back. Perfect. He outlined a strategy. Contact every HealthStream client. Offer them free transitions to DataCore. 6 months at half price. Bury the startup under corporate pressure. This is war, Richard said. By the end of the quarter, HealthStream will be dead. I sat there, stomach churning. I'd built something real. Something that helped people. And Richard wanted to destroy it just to prove he could. That night, I made a decision. No more hiding. No more waiting for the perfect moment. I called Ramon and Lisa. Emergency meeting. Video call. Now. They joined within minutes. I explained everything. DataCore. Richard. The threat. What do we do? Lisa asked. We go aggressive. We expand faster than they can react. And we prepare for me to quit. Ramon grinned. Finally. Not yet. I need 2 more things first. More clients and leverage. What kind of leverage? I smiled. The kind that makes Richard untouchable. I'm going to steal DataCore's biggest contract. DataCore's biggest client was Northwestern Memorial Hospital. $2.3 million annual contract. The hospital used DataCore software for patient data management across their entire network. I'd worked on that account for 8 months. Knew every weakness in their current system. Knew the hospital's pain points. Knew their IT director, Susan Park, was frustrated with DataCore's slow support and high costs. I'd been building a relationship with Susan for months. Casual. Friendly. Professional. She trusted me. That Tuesday, I asked Susan to coffee. I want to get your feedback on something. Personal project. We met at a cafe near the hospital. I showed her HealthStream. Explained how it worked. Showed her the metrics from our current practices. This is impressive, Kayla. Really impressive. You built this. With a small team. It's my side business. Does DataCore know? They're about to. I'm quitting next month. Susan's eyes widened. You're leaving? I have to. My platform is growing. But I wanted to ask you something first. Would Northwestern be interested in a custom version? Enterprise scale. Built specifically for your needs. At a fraction of what you're paying DataCore. She set down her coffee. How much of a fraction? Half. Maybe less. And better support. Direct access to the development team. Us. Kayla, that's a massive claim. I know. Let me prove it. Give me one department. Pilot program. 60 days. If it works, we expand. If it doesn't, you keep DataCore. She thought for a long moment. I'd need to see a formal proposal. You'll have it by Friday. I worked 72 hours straight on that proposal. Ramon and Lisa helped. We built a custom demo. Showed exactly how HealthStream could handle hospital-scale data. Security features. HIPAA compliance. Integration with existing systems. The proposal was 40 pages. Professional. Detailed. Priced at $95,000 annually for the pilot department. If successful, full hospital implementation at $1.1 million annually. Half of DataCore's price. Better functionality. Personal support. I delivered it Thursday night. Susan called Friday morning. I showed this to our CFO and CIO. They want to meet with you. When? Monday. Can you do 10 a.m.? I had a DataCore meeting at 10 a.m. Performance review follow-up with Richard. I'll be there. That Monday, I called in sick to DataCore. Went to Northwestern instead. Met with Susan and her team. Presented for 90 minutes. Answered every question. Showed them the demo. The CFO leaned back. Kayla, this is exactly what we need. But here's my concern. You're one person with a small team. What happens if you get hit by a bus? Fair question. We're incorporating properly. Building redundancy. And we're growing. I'm hiring 3 more developers this quarter. When can you start the pilot? 2 weeks. Done. I'll have legal draw up the contract. I walked out of that hospital floating. $95,000 contract. And if the pilot succeeded, $1.1 million annually. DataCore's biggest client. About to become mine. I went to DataCore the next day. Walked straight to Richard's office. Knocked. Come in. I sat down. Put a folder on his desk. I'm resigning. Effective immediately. 2 weeks notice if you need transition time. Richard looked up. Confused. What? Why? I'm starting my own company full-time. It's been a good learning experience here, but it's time to move on. Your own company? Doing what? Healthcare analytics software. His face changed. Confusion shifted to suspicion. HealthStream. That's yours. Yes. You've been building a competing product while working here? That's a conflict of interest. Possibly grounds for illegal action. I've checked my employment contract. No non-compete clause. No intellectual property agreement. I built HealthStream on my own time, with my own resources. It's mine. Richard stood up. Angry now. You've been lying to me for months. I've been working nights. You said that was poor time management. Turns out it was excellent business development. You sabotaged the Midwest Care pitch. No. I just didn't help you steal my client. I stood. I'll finish out the week if you need knowledge transfer. Otherwise, I'm done today. Get out. I smiled. Gladly. I walked back to my desk. Packed my things. Jenny appeared beside me. What happened? I quit. Because of HealthStream? How did you? I've known for months. You're not as sneaky as you think. She grinned. So, are you hiring? I hired Jenny immediately. Director of Client Relations. $75,000 salary. She quit DataCore that afternoon. Richard nearly had a stroke. Word spread fast. By end of week, 3 more DataCore employees had contacted me. I hired one. Marcus, a brilliant systems architect. Richard had been underpaying for years. We set up a real office. Small space in River North. 6 desks. Whiteboard walls. It felt legitimate. Real. Terrifying. The Northwestern pilot launched on schedule. Orthopedics department. 30 doctors. 50 staff members. We migrated their data over a weekend. Trained everyone Monday morning. By Wednesday, they were running smoothly. By Friday, Susan called. Kayla, the department head, wants to expand immediately. This is transforming their workflow. We can handle that. Good. Also, our CIO is talking to other hospitals. Expect calls. Revenue exploded. Within 6 weeks, we had 4 hospital pilots running. Total, $380,000 in contracts. Monthly recurring revenue, $31,000. Expenses, $18,000. Profit, $13,000 monthly. I hired 2 more developers, a marketing specialist, an accountant. We were a real company now. 12 employees. Growing weekly. Maya joined as VP of Marketing. I'm so proud of you, she said, setting up her desk. You actually did it. We did it. I couldn't have without your help. So, what's next? I smiled. We take everything Richard thinks he owns. 3 months after I quit, DataCore lost the Northwestern contract. Susan called their rep personally. We're not renewing. We're going with HealthStream. $2.3 million annual contract. Gone. Richard's biggest account. His signature achievement. Now mine. The industry noticed. Healthcare IT Weekly ran a story. Startup disrupts established player, wins major hospital contract. They interviewed me. Published our growth numbers. Showed our client satisfaction rates. DataCore stock price dropped 8%. Richard got called into a board meeting. According to Jenny, who still had friends there, he blamed the loss on me. Said I'd stolen trade secrets. Poached clients unethically. Their legal team reviewed everything. Found nothing actionable. I'd been careful. Every client I'd won had come to me. Every employee I'd hired had quit voluntarily. Everything was clean. Richard tried to compete. Dropped DataCore's prices. Offered free trials. Copied HealthStream's features poorly. Nothing worked. Our product was better. Our service was faster. Our team actually cared. By month 6, we had 11 hospital contracts. 43 small practices. Revenue, $1.8 million annually. We raised a small funding round. $2 million from a healthcare-focused VC firm. Not because we needed it, but because it gave us resources to scale faster. I moved into a real apartment. 2 bedrooms. Actual furniture. Northwestern neighborhood. I could afford it now. Year 2, HealthStream became the fastest-growing healthcare analytics platform in the Midwest. We had 87 clients, 23 employees. Revenue, $4.2 million. We were profitable, growing, unstoppable. DataCore was struggling. They'd lost 6 major contracts. Their sales team was crumbling. Richard had been demoted, no longer managing the main team, stuck in a side role handling small accounts. I should have felt satisfied, vindicated. Instead, I felt empty. Revenge wasn't as sweet as I'd imagined. I'd built something real. That mattered more than watching Richard fail. Then I got a call from Jennifer Barnes, DataCore's new CEO. Ms. Rodriguez, I'd like to meet with you. Discuss a potential partnership. What kind of partnership? I'd rather explain in person. Are you available this week? We met at her office. Jennifer was 50, sharp professional. She got right to it. DataCore is dying. You know it. I know it. Our product is outdated. Our reputation is damaged. We're bleeding clients. I'm aware. I want to propose an acquisition. DataCore acquires HealthStream. You become our CTO. We integrate your platform. Sunset our old system. You get our client base, our resources, our infrastructure. Why would I sell? Because we can reach places you can't yet. National scale. Enterprise sales force. Established relationships. Together, we dominate the market. I considered it. What's the offer? $15 million. Plus executive role. Plus equity in the combined company. $15 million. Life-changing money. But it meant working for DataCore, the company that had tried to destroy me. I told Jennifer I'd think about it, discussed it with my team. Ramon and Lisa would become millionaires. Jenny would run client relations for a national company. Everyone would benefit. But something felt wrong. I'd built HealthStream to escape corporations like DataCore, to prove I didn't need them. Selling felt like surrender. Maya was blunt. If you want the money, take it. If you want independence, walk away. What do you actually want? I thought about Richard's face when he dismissed my night work, when he'd called HealthStream amateur, when he'd tried to steal my clients. I want to win completely. Then don't sell. Build bigger than they can imagine. I called Jennifer back. I appreciate the offer, but I'm declining. HealthStream isn't for sale. Are you sure? This is a substantial offer. I'm sure. But I have a counterproposal. DataCore needs modern software. License HealthStream's platform. White label it. Pay us 30% of revenue from those implementations. You get a product that works. We get national distribution. Silence. Then, that's basically admitting our product failed. Your product did fail. This way you survive. And keep your remaining clients. I need to discuss with the board. 3 weeks later, they agreed. DataCore would license HealthStream. Pay us 30% of implementation revenue. Minimum $500,000 annually. They'd rebrand their offering. DataCore powered by HealthStream Analytics. Richard would have to sell my product. Under my terms. That was victory. The licensing deal transformed everything. DataCore's sales force pushed HealthStream nationally. We expanded to 22 states in 6 months. Had to hire rapidly. 50 employees by year's end. Revenue, $8.4 million annually. I moved HealthStream into a proper office. Full floor in a downtown building. Modern space. Standing desks. Coffee bar. The team loved it. We won awards. Fastest growing health tech company. Best healthcare analytics platform. CEO to watch under 30. I was 28 years old. Running a multi-million-dollar company, employing 50 people, serving hundreds of healthcare facilities. All because I'd worked nights while Richard mocked me. My mom flew in to see the office, cried when she saw my name on the door. I'm so proud of you, baby. You did exactly what I said. Education was your way out. You taught me to work hard, to not give up. No. I taught you to survive. You taught yourself to thrive. That night, Maya and I went to dinner, celebrated, ordered expensive wine. laughed about the early days. The 3 a.m. coding sessions. The fear and uncertainty. Do you ever think about Richard? Maya asked. Sometimes. Wonder how he's doing. According to LinkedIn, he's a junior account manager now. Salary is public record. $67,000. I made that in a week now. The reversal was complete. Year 3, the phone call came. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Hello. Kayla. It's Richard Barrett. I froze. Richard. What can I do for you? I need to talk to you. In person. Would you have time this week? Why? Please. Just 30 minutes. Curiosity 1. Thursday. 2 p.m. My office. He showed up early. Sat in the lobby. I watched him on the security camera. He looked older. Smaller. Defeated. I made him wait 15 minutes. Then had Jenny show him up. He walked into my office. Looked around. Glass walls. View of the city. Awards on shelves. Photos of the team. Everything he'd told me I'd never have. Nice place, he said quietly. Thank you. What do you need? He sat down. Didn't meet my eyes. I'm being laid off. Data Core is downsizing. My position is being eliminated. I'm sorry to hear that. No, you're not. You're probably thrilled. I said nothing. Let the silence hang. I'm here to ask for a job. I need work. I have rent, bills. And he swallowed. I know you're hiring. I saw the postings. My stomach dropped. Richard Barrett, my old boss, the man who'd mocked me, put me on a performance plan, tried to destroy my company, was asking me for a job. I leaned back in my chair, studied him. He looked desperate, broken. 3 years ago, he'd had all the power. Now he had none. Why would I hire you? Because I have 20 years of experience in healthcare consulting, relationships with major hospital systems, knowledge of how enterprises make decisions. He finally looked at me, because I'm good at my job, even if I was a terrible manager. You were worse than terrible. You were cruel. I know. You tried to destroy HealthStream, called it amateur, garbage built in a basement. I know. You put me on a performance plan for working hard, for building something. You mocked me. His voice cracked. I know. I was wrong. About everything. You were exceptional, and I was threatened. I tried to diminish you instead of learning from you. I'm sorry. I stood, walked to the window, looked out at the city. 3 years. From broke analyst to CEO. From mocked employee to industry leader. The journey had been brutal, but it made this moment possible. I'm not hiring you, I said. His shoulders slumped. I understand. However, I turned. I'm investing in Data Core's turnaround. Part of that investment includes consulting roles. You'd report to Jennifer Barnes. Work on enterprise implementations. Salary would be $85,000. Benefits. But you'd be working with HealthStream's platform. My platform. Every day. He looked up. You're serious? The role starts Monday. If you want it. Why would you do this? I smiled. Because I'm not you, Richard. I don't destroy people for being good at their jobs. I hire them. Richard took the job. I started Monday. Reported to Jennifer. Worked on implementations using HealthStream software. Every proposal he wrote featured my company's name. Every client meeting he sold my product. The irony was perfect. But something unexpected happened. Richard was actually good at his job when he wasn't busy protecting his ego. He closed deals, built relationships, helped Data Core stabilize. 6 months in, he sent me an email. Thank you for the opportunity. I don't deserve your grace, but I'm grateful for it. You're a better leader than I ever was. I didn't respond immediately. Let it sit. Finally wrote back. We all deserve second chances. Use yours well. HealthStream continued growing. By year 4, we had clients in 40 states. Revenue, $22 million. Employees, 120. We'd become exactly what I'd imagined during those 3 a.m. coding sessions. A real company. solving real problems, changing healthcare. I promoted Jenny to COO, Ramon to CTO, Lisa to VP of Product, Maya to CMO. The people who'd believed in me when I had nothing. They deserve success as much as I did. My mom came to our holiday party, saw the team, the office, the success. She pulled me aside. Do you remember what I told you? Education is your way out. I remember. I was wrong. Education was your way in. But this. She gestured at everything. You built this with courage, with resilience, with refusing to accept someone else's limitations. She hugged me tight. I'm so proud of who you became. 5 years after Richard put me on that performance improvement plan, HealthStream went public. IPO price, $24 per share. Opening day, $31. Market cap, $450 million. I owned 35%. Worth $157 million on paper. Ramon, Lisa, Jenny, Maya, and the early team were all millionaires. We'd built something that mattered, that helped people, that proved everyone who doubted us wrong. The night of the IPO, I drove past my old apartment. The one with the kitchen table where I'd worked until 3 a.m. Where I'd read Richard's email putting me on that performance plan. Where I'd decided to fight back. I pulled up that email on my phone. Read it again. Your inability to complete tasks during standard business hours raises concerns about your capability. I laughed. Genuine, joyful laughter. Those night hours had built a $450 million company. Those concerns had been so spectacularly wrong. I deleted the email. Finally. I didn't need it anymore. Didn't need the anger or the proof or the validation. I'd won. Not by destroying Richard, but by building something he couldn't imagine. My phone buzzed. Text from Maya. You coming to the celebration? On my way. I drove to the office. Our team was there. All 120 people. Champagne. Music. Joy. These were my people. The ones who'd worked nights. Who'd believed in the impossible. Who'd proved that working hard doesn't mean poor time management. It means you're building something bigger than a 9-to-5 job can contain. Jenny found me in the crowd. Raised her glass. To Kayla Rodriguez. The woman who turned midnight coffee into millions. To all of us, I corrected. Every person who believed we could do this. We toasted. Celebrated. Danced. And somewhere across the city, Richard Barrett was probably reading about our IPO. Learning that the employee he tried to break had built an empire instead. I hoped he learned something from it. But whether he did or didn't, it didn't matter anymore. His opinion had stopped defining me the moment I decided my night work was worth more than his approval. I'd built HealthStream for me. For patients who needed better care. For practices that needed better tools. For everyone who'd been told they weren't good enough. And standing in that office, surrounded by proof that we were more than good enough, I finally believed it completely. If someone ever mocked you for working hard, drop a like and subscribe. Your night work might just change your life. Share your story in the comments below.